grotesque ways. They're being the type of policeman you say is the member of the community who breaks all the crimes. And I've seen it personally, and I want to know exactly what we do with that odd policeman who belts people in the face, and I've seen that twice in the last year. How do we follow that up? And second thing I want to know is that when people are arrested and they're brought to the police, sometimes we can phone the police station and we're told, yes, they're here. Other times we are not told anything as legal observers. So it's very hard for us to follow up and let the families know. There doesn't seem to be a coherent policy on what the police tell us about people who have been incarcerated after a demonstration.
On the traffic stuff, I mean, essentially, come back to it, I've lost over 1,000 police officers. We have to make very hard choices, yes, and part of that is about making sure that traffic officers are very clearly targeted about reducing casualties on the roads and reducing the number of deaths, and being very targeted to try and take criminals off the road. I'm frustrated as much as you are about the number of people who see just red lights. The fact is, I think even if we double the traffic or triple the traffic centre, it's probably going to make a difference. I think it is about, if you like, more technology, more cameras and things like that, yeah? But we still need to keep the visible presence. The issue about protest, I mean, really everything, particularly a police officer does at a protest now is on film. And not only do we take our own films, but there is CCTV, there is media, and therefore if there are those allegations, they are investigated. I don't know which particular protest you are talking about, but clearly there have been situations, certainly in London, where there have been well, I can only say that, when we've had to deal with different situations, like when there's been protests from different groups and there are opposing groups, it is a very, very difficult issue for the officers involved, particularly if the two groups both want to occupy the same piece of land. And therefore officers are able to use, whatever force is reasonable in the circumstances to protect themselves or to protect the public. But that will be thoroughly investigated. The next thing we are, and again, we've been talking about this, is for all officers to have body cameras. And again, we're having a debate about that at the moment, about what the public actually thinks about that, and whether that is a way forward. On the issue of people that have been arrested, I mean, clearly we cannot reveal to a member of the public, to a stranger in effect, that somebody's in custody without their permission. When anybody is arrested, and it's all filmed, they are asked, is there anybody you want to be told that you're in custody, and do you want to have a solicitor free of charge? Now, some people will decline both of those, but clearly if they say, I don't want anybody told that I'm in custody, and somebody rings up, we cannot reveal that they are in custody because they may not want us to tell anybody. Yeah?
No, this is cases when people have said they want, and sometimes we're told, and sometimes we're not.
Well, as I say, there's a very clear procedure what should, and all that is recorded on
So if they say they want people to know, your officer should say.
We have to do that because it's all filmed, it's all tape recorded, and it has to be registered on the custody record at what time that person was informed.
Look, can I just reiterate that? I mean, look, I can only answer in a hypothetical sense because I didn't see what you're saying. You saw. I mean, there's been. I've been on probably more demonstrations than most people in this room, I imagine. And I know what a good demonstration's like, and know one that gets a little bit more unpleasant from everybody's point of view. In actual fact, I mean, GMP's tactics demonstrations are very different now to what they used to be in the past. And the point you make is generally most demonstrations, even quite contentious ones. We had a very big EDL demonstration in central Manchester when the EDL had the legal right to demonstrate. I don't have any trouble with EDL, I must make that point clear. The counter-demonstrators were allowed to make a proper protest and were helped to do that. And of course, those who went about their lawful business to do the demonstration went to the shops, went to church, went for a coffee, all the things that people did, because that stewardship of that demonstration was excellent. What I would say though is this: look, it goes without saying that if there is a serious breach by individual officers, whether it's on a demonstration or elsewhere, that is just that, and has to be both investigated and where that's appropriate. If the behaviour of the police officer is from inappropriate to gross, then that has to be dealt with proportionately. We know from what's happened in London with the news seller not so long ago that things can go wrong in exactly the circumstances. We can't allow that because it turns into a we can see.
Tony, demonstrators against the EDL have been kettled in Manchester on several occasions, and I know that because I've been kettled by Greater Manchester Police on one of those demonstrations
Well, I mean,
for absolutely no reason.
yeah. It's hard for me to comment on the particular circumstances. The point I'm making actually now is that you know, when things are considered. But actually the point that has just made is a very important one. We are looking at where body cameras can be appropriate, because actually that in the end cuts down the risks on all sides. It cuts down.
Do you think body cams will make police accountable?
Well, body cameras, I mean...
Ian Thomason died on camera and the officer got away with it.
Nothing is an absolute guarantee.
Christopher Alder died in police custody. He got beaten up. Listen, punched out his ankles, we're making monkey noises around him. He died on the police cell floor, all on video, and they all walked away. Yeah, but you're talking rubbish. You're absolutely talking, waffling a load of rubbish.
But we give you the respect to listen to you, and you should...
Well, actually you didn't, because you always interrupt me when I'm trying to speak, but there you go.
You could have solved anything.